Soldiers of the 3rd Separate Assault Brigade fought off a Russian assault in the eastern direction. The Russians assaulted this section of the front line using a tank and a wheeled armored personnel carrier, APC, carrying infantry. The Ukrainian defenders shared that the Russian column of armored vehicles moving towards their positions was detected in time by UAV pilots of the 3rd Assault Brigade. After detecting the enemy's movement, the brigade's units immediately proceeded to destroy it. Ukrainian defenders used FPV attack drones to eliminate the Russian invaders. In a short time, the operators of Ukrainian attack drones destroyed the Russian armored vehicles. The Ukrainian defenders immediately attacked the Russian tank from the air. The Russian armored personnel carrier tried to escape, but was caught up. According to the 3rd Assault Brigade, Russian infantry began to retreat even before the control hit. The multi-million-dollar equipment was unwound by our drones in a short time, the soldiers add. Recently, the soldiers of the 3rd Separate Assault Brigade launched a successful counterattack in the Kharkiv region. The defenders advanced 2 square kilometers, which came as a surprise to Russians. Ukrainian military took control of the Russian battalion defense area, Russian platoon, and company strongholds. The main task of the attack aircraft was to disrupt the offensive potential of the 20th Russian Army. According to the Terra unit commander, it is confirmed that 200 Russian troops were eliminated in the attack. Today, there are a lot of important updates from the Kursk direction in Russia. Here, the Ukrainians initiated the next stage of the offensive with a powerful attack across the border, quickly approaching the town of Glushkovo. Recognizing the imminent threat of losing Glushkovo, the Russians tried to establish logistics lines using pontoon bridges and the Korenevo-Glushkovo highway. However, the Ukrainians had anticipated this move and swiftly targeted the reinforcements with ATACMS cluster warheads, effectively neutralizing the Russian efforts. In the Glushkovo district, the situation became highly volatile and perilous for the Russian forces facing intense Ukrainian pressure. Approximately 3,000 Russian soldiers in the area have struggled to sustain logistical support for their defensive positions. The Glushkovo forces are essentially isolated from the rest of the Russian military, as crucial roads, particularly the Glushkovo-Korenevo highway, are under Ukrainian fire control. This left only the bridges across the Seym River as the sole logistical routes for the Russian forces in Glushkovo to maintain supply lines. Combat footage from the Zvano area on the Seym River shows a pontoon bridge being completely destroyed by a HIMARS missile with pinpoint accuracy. Another video from the same area depicts the destruction of Russian construction and engineering equipment on a traffic bridge at Zvanoe. Ukrainian drone operators successfully targeted and destroyed equipment, including an excavator and a truck carrying construction materials, that were attempting to repair the bridge. Seeing how the use of bridges and pontoon crossings for maintenance of logistical flow is difficult, the Russian forces decided to launch a series of daring counterattacks with the goal of retaking the Korenevo-Glushkovo highway in an effort to restore ground connection to Glushkovo. By acting swiftly, the Russians achieved a tactical surprise. Leveraging newly redeployed forces from eastern Ukraine, they quickly entered Snagost and immediately intensified their operations, launching assaults on Ukrainian positions in Vishnevka, Komarovka, Venesapne, and Krasnoktyabrske. The Ukrainian command anticipated the Russian forces would launch an unblocking operation, so they had a predetermined course of action ready. Given that the main Russian objective was to unblock the Glushkovo forces and secure supply lines by road, the Ukrainians focused their FPV drone units on the area, targeting Russian assault units en route and transforming the road into a deadly corridor. Russian sources confirmed that, despite the seemingly improved logistics to Glushkovo, Ukrainian FPV drones strike Russian troops on the highway every 5 minutes, consistently destroying or disrupting large portions of reinforcements before they can arrive. A squad of Russian fighters near Vishnevka, situated close to the highway, gathered in one location, leading to their swift destruction by a Ukrainian FPV drone.